Delegating control in Active Directory, AD, is an important aspect of administrative management. It allows you to assign specific administrative tasks to other users or groups without granting them full access to the entire domain or other OUs. This can be done at the organizational unit OU level, ensuring that administrative rights are granted on a more granular and controlled basis. When you delegate control in an OU, you assign specific tasks like user management or group management to a specific user or group for that OU, without giving them rights to other parts of directory. This is essential for efficient administration, especially in larger organizations with different departments or teams that need different levels of access to AD objects. Why delegate control? First, security. Limiting permissions to only what's necessary helps reduce the risk of unauthorized access or changes to AD objects. Second, efficiency. It enables department heads, regional IT staff, or support teams to manage their own areas of responsibility, like user accounts or group memberships, without needing full administrative privileges. When delegating control, there are several predefined permissions that you can assign. Some common permissions that can be delegated include creating, deleting, and managing user accounts, resetting user passwords, managing group membership, creating, deleting, and managing groups, modifying group policy objects, GPOs, and viewing and modifying permissions. To delegate control in Active Directory using the Active Directory Users and Computers ADUC console, first, open ADUC by pressing Windows +R, typing dsa.msc, and pressing Enter, or opening it from the Administrative Tools menu. Next, navigate to the organizational unit, OU, you want to delegate control over by expanding the domain in the left pane. Right-click the OU and select Delegate Control from the context menu to open the Delegation of Control wizard. In the wizard, click Add to select the user or group you want to delegate control to. If the user or group is not listed, you can type their name or browse the directory to find them. Click Next after selecting the appropriate user or group. You'll then be presented with a list of common tasks you can delegate. Select the tasks that you want the user or group to be able to perform on objects in the OU. Alternatively, you can choose Create a custom task to delegate for more specific control. You can also use PowerShell to delegate control by modifying permissions for specific objects or OUs. For example, to grant reset password permission to a user on a specified OU, you can use the command add AD permission, identity OU user extended rights, reset password. This command grants the HR admin user the right to reset passwords for users in the HR OU. If you want to create more specific custom permissions beyond the common tasks listed in the Delegation of Control wizard, you can choose Create a custom task to delegate during the delegation process. You can then select permissions for specific objects in the OU and define which permissions you want to grant on those objects. These permissions can be set at the object level or at the container level. When delegating control, it's important to consider the least privilege principle, always granting users the permissions they need to perform their tasks while avoiding unnecessary or overly broad permissions. Be aware that permissions assigned at the OU level can be inherited by sub-OUs unless explicitly blocked. Regularly review the delegated permissions to ensure they align with the current needs of the organization and maintain a security audit trail for delegation actions. For delegation of control, it's best to add users to security groups rather than delegating control to individual users, making management of permissions easier and more scalable. Best practices for delegating control in Active Directory include using security groups, limiting permissions to specific OUs, following the least privilege principle, regularly reviewing delegated permissions, and documenting your delegations. Delegating control in Active Directory at the OU level provides a way to assign administrative rights to users or groups for specific objects in the OU, allowing for granular control without granting broader administrative rights to the entire domain. This helps maintain security, improves operational efficiency, and ensures accountability. The process can be done using the Delegation of Control wizard in Active Directory Users and Computers, ADUC, or via PowerShell for more specific tasks. It's important to follow best practices such as using security groups, limiting permissions to the necessary tasks, and reviewing delegated control regularly.